Yes, baby. Hi, everyone. I'm Nathan, and this is Sweetie. We are answering more questions. Oh, it's a bonus video. Happy Monday, everyone. It's a bonus video. We're answering more questions about ourselves. There are 20 get-to-know-you questions that are kind of board gamey related. I still don't have a copy of them. I don't know when I'll ever have a copy of them. Probably never. And therefore, I will link my friend Evan. He did his video of the 20 questions. I'm breaking it up because I go on and on and on and on. He's more efficient talking with his wordiness. And therefore, I will just link his video here in the description, in my video's description, and you can see the 20 questions in his video description. It's really complicated. It's because I just have no mastery over the internet whatsoever. Nope. Let's go. Question number 3. When did you really get into the board game hobby? Great question. When did I really get into the board game hobby? Well, if you count things like Magic, and it's been a long, long time in role-playing games and Magic. I don't think role-playing games and Magic count. Forget those. When did I get into the board game hobby? About 10 years ago. I migrated over from role-playing games. I loved role-playing games. This is one of my absolute favorites. Nobilis, one of my absolute favorites. You play the living embodiment of something like guns or happiness or monkeys or helicopters or bullets. And you are just in charge of that, and you have to take care of it and watch over it. And it's a very weird game. It's role-playing games for me. I stopped, of course, buying them and trying to play them because I'm just a highly anxious person. And it's very hard to find people to play with. And the other thing is, the more I like a game, there's an inverse or direct, I don't know which, correlation between how difficult a game is to run and play and enjoy and how much I like it. It's not intentional. I swear it's not intentional, but like, name the easiest role-playing game you could think of. It's Pathfinder or Dungeons & Dragons. It's super easy to play. You set up, the Dungeon Master sets up, put some monsters, get some monsters to kill, and get some treasure to find, and hooks it on a little story. And you go nuts. But those are like the very bottom. I'm not going to mess with those because I don't want to be a murder hobo. But then you go to the other end of the spectrum for things like the World of Darkness or Nobilis, things like that are much, much harder to figure out. Doctor Who is one. It's much harder to figure out how to, present a story, compelling campaign, story, narrative, challenges. Those are the ones I like more, so there's a big disconnect there, and so, plus I get nervous, and I really don't have anybody to play with, so mostly I just buy these games and read them, and it's a lot of fun to read them, and I enjoyed it a lot, and I still have a lot of role-playing games, I never get rid of them, but about 10 years ago, 12 years ago, 15 years ago, some undetermined number of years ago, I found Board Game Geek and from RPGNet. RPGNet was the role-playing game equivalent of Board Game Geek, I think. And I sort of migrated over to board games, and so about 10, 12 years ago. Question number 4. What was the first game you purchased? The first game I purchased with my money, role-playing games. Definitely role-playing games. Dungeons & Dragons 2nd Edition was certainly the first game I purchased, or maybe the Robotech role-playing game. Lots of role-playing games. I spent many years buying and reading many role-playing games and not really playing them before I got my first board game, which I guess, like many people around here, was going to be Magic. And the other half of this question is, do you still have the first game you purchased? Yes. I have a Magic deck. Here's a Magic deck. It's in this plastic bag with my Gargoyles playing cards in case I ever need playing cards. Here are my gargoyle playing cards. That's fine. And it is a expert. It is a plane shift scout deck. Ooh, plane shift scout. That's pretty exciting. There were some Street Fighter cards, there were some Street Fighter Magic cards recently, but I missed out on them. I probably would have bought them if I had the chance. They probably were expensive. I don't know if they were. They're probably expensive. I would have bought them. When Lord of the Rings, there's supposedly a Lord of the Rings Magic expansion coming out in 6 or 8 months at this point. If they do that and I can buy a deck like the thing where I can just, get some cards with some characters that I know and I love them, some Rohan or Legolas and Gimli, some Ents, Eagles, whatever. I will certainly buy that just to have it. And that'll be nice. I won't be jumping back into Magic or buying a bunch of boosters or something. But it's still fun. It's not fun. I don't like killing other people. I don't like games where you're in direct conflict with other people. Violent conflict. And that's not cool. But I still have a deck, and I would still buy more. So I don't know what that says about me. And that is it. That is 2 more questions down. It took 6 minutes. I do go on and don't speak very concisely, I'll tell you what. So, from Sassy, I'm Nathan. Sassy, from Sweetie Pie, I'm Nathan, and I say thank you for watching and take care.